Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week I'm going to be talking about my only show this last weekend over at Reality Bites in Bloomington, Illinois. So, pretty on the slow side this last week, which, has been a little bit of a relief. I'd been, pushing it probably on 12 for a little bit too long. So, a lot less stress. We're having the less shows and stuff, which was definitely nice. I had been kind of procrastinating on a lot of daily things that I've needed to, like just cleaning stuff, sometimes when you're so busy and doing, 3 shows a week, you get, with the day job and stuff, you get kind of lazy on stuff that, regular stuff that just needs to be done. So I got a lot of that done. I was a little bit restless. I will say that I was, not having a ton of shows made me feel a little bit worthless, but I made up for it with productivity in some other ways, I guess. So I worked a lot on this song I've been working on recently on my iPad, and it's called The Riot Red. I did the whole thing on the iPad, and I'm sending it over to a buddy of mine to mix and master it, and it's sounding really good for an iPad. I mean, it is amazing what you can do with these things. So there's one issue that needs to be resolved with it. It's just a tiny thing, and hopefully, when he has time to look at it, he'll finish it up, and then I can release it, and that'll be out hopefully in the next few weeks. So I'm pretty excited about that, just having something new to kind of put out and promote and, say, I accomplished something, which is always a good feeling for a second until you have to get on to the next thing, but it gives you a nice second, I guess, of feeling like I did something. This song is definitely more on the singer-songwriter-y side of things, kind of folky, which is why, I'm able to use the iPad to do it, because if it was a big production, I don't think that these iPads are really built for more than probably 8 to 12 tracks or so. So, and I think I got this one done in maybe less than 10. And for some songs, that's all you need. And I think since this is more of a song that's based around the lyrics, I think that'll be plenty. It won't be overproduced, that is for sure. But it kind of sounds good in a lo-fi kind of way. So there's that I've worked pretty hard on. And then coming up this Sunday, I set up some recording time with the guy who's mixing and mastering it, which he is actually the guy who recorded our whole first album. We did it. It would have been, I think we released that in 2015, but we worked on it for about 3 years in the studio. Didn't release anything for that whole time. And pretty much everybody that was a fan kind of forgot about us, I think, because we weren't putting stuff out, because I had this master plan to make this great album. And anyway, I think it turned out really good, but we took way too long on it, and it was really expensive. So I'm kind of exploring some alternative, because when you're in the studio, I mean, we're talking, back then I think it was $50 an hour, but right now I'm paying $60, so $60 an hour if I go to a legit studio. And for full productions, you pretty much have to do that. I mean, if you want quality, you gotta, pay for it. So, I mean, I understand that, but I just think going the single route is probably a little bit better. Because right now I'm working on that one, which should be done, like I said, in the next couple weeks. And then I'm working on one with Jeff, who's the same guy that is mixing and mastering the one off my iPad, on a home recording that he's doing for us, which super awesome of him to do this stuff, because he's just kind of bored, I think. So I think he's just doing a couple for free, and then he'll know what to charge probably next time. But anyway, so we're gonna have that hopefully done in maybe a month or two. And then I got one started at Eclipse, which we have another session there in early August. So, just a lot of things like almost done, which makes me feel very unproductive because I can't like finish anything I start lately for some reason. But what'll happen, what usually happens is they'll all be done kind of close to the same time, and then I'll be like, man, I'm getting a lot of stuff done. But really it's all this legwork that I'm putting in right now. But so this Sunday, we're, like I said, doing some recording. Dave's going to come to Peoria with me, and we're going to get all the hand percussion stuff done. So with that one, we have all the acoustic done, all the drums done, all the auxiliary instruments. I'm going to have to redo the vocals because they're just like scratch vocals right now. Got the hand percussion we're going to do. Laura Lynn's going to have to sing some backups. And then Kev said he can't really do any more recording probably till August, so get him in there for the bass. And then I think, mix and master. Hopefully it won't take too long, but, I predict at least a month, if not a little bit longer. And then the other one in the studio, we have the mandolin, guitar, hand percussion, and bass. So I need to do the vocals pretty much, and maybe some auxiliary instruments. So, I'm just looking forward to having some stuff done. We've had, since that full-length album, I've done 4 singles. 3, I think, which are, pretty good. And so if I get all 3 of these done, I'll be up to 7. And then maybe just a couple more, and can maybe try to do, I guess probably would at least want to do 10 to get a full album done. But it'd be nice to have another album, because, it's been almost 5 years since I've had a full album. But anyway, so working on that stuff, getting stuff done. It's makes me feel like I'm contributing in some way. And then so the show this last weekend was a good show. It was just, it was weird because I only had one. And it was only for 2 hours on a Saturday night. So and I used a really light sound setup. So, it's very stress-free in a lot of ways. So, I ended up having to work Saturday during the day, but it was only like 12 to 4, so it wasn't a big deal. But it's kind of hard to get out of that funk, I guess, because I wasn't really expecting to have to go in. And I had to take Lo in really early that day to work because it was like the busiest day of the year. So I took her in at I think she had to be there by 7. And then by the time I fell back asleep and then went to work, and then got home from work, I was a little bit, I would say, off. But yeah, it was nice to, I went there probably a little over an hour before I started and got set up in maybe 30, 40 minutes, and then just kind of got to relax. Wasn't a busy night at all. There was a bunch of stuff in Central Illinois going on. The Bloomington Center of the Performing Arts down the street had a big concert with 3 bands, and then the Castle had a concert that seemed like it was getting a lot of traction on Facebook and stuff. And then at the Peoria Riverfront there was I think Yonder Mountain Strings and Steady Flow played, and those are 2 bands. Yonder Mountain I've definitely heard of. Steady Flow I've heard of more regionally or locally. So it was pretty busy, and it was a nice night out, so I wasn't super disappointed that there was nobody there. Plus Reality Bites isn't very big, so I wasn't it still felt like there were more people probably than there were. But and I brought a couple people, which was nice. I think the people were digging what I was doing. And, nothing too spectacular really happened. It was just kind of a slow week. So, this next week I'm going to be jammed pretty packed. I have 3 again. Thursday I'm at Kicks in Towanda. Friday I'm in Chenoa at the Brown Jug. And then Saturday I got this different show up in Peru, which this will be my first time up in Peru. And, it's going to be mostly originals that I'm going to play that night, so that'll be interesting. And I'm going up for a podcast beforehand for an interview, and then I'm going to perform a few songs as well before. So I'm kind of nervous about the Saturday show. I'm going to be doing foot percussion for all of these, and the first two should be outside, and it's going to be probably upper 90s when both of those shows are starting. So that'll be, I'm guessing, a little rough. I'll probably lose a few pounds those nights. So then I'm just most worried about Saturday because I'm going to be playing at least probably 2 hours of original songs. So that's probably, if I'm doing a 4-hour set, I might have 45 minutes of original music, maybe an hour of original music, but I don't really play that much consecutively, I guess. I mean, I'm definitely going to do some covers, and Lo's saying she's going to come, so she's probably going to do her songs, which are covers as well. But I'm going to be trying some weirder ones out, so some more like ones that don't get the play at like the bar crowds as much, just because, that's more what they were wanting is like original artists, so, I'm just a little nervous that I'm going to be doing foot percussion with it, and some of those songs I'm just not as solid on with the foot percussion. I think the key there, is just do less, make it simple. But I don't know. I'll be interested to see how that goes, and that's what I'll be talking about next week. So anybody who took the time to listen, as always, I appreciate you, and have a good rest of your week.